Alright, let's talk about some real shit while I do some dips. So, I saw a post on the school community, Adonis Gang. The school community that Hamza makes. I'm a big fan of Hamza. I don't watch his content too much now. I love his Hamza Advance channel though. The point is, I saw community posts saying things like, oh, I'm on self-improvement now, and because of this, I have less friends. It was very long-winded. But the point was, that's basically what he said. He was on self-improvement, lost friends because of it. Now, if you're on self-improvement or any sort of journey, you will lose friends. I weigh 196. I'm getting a bit heavy. I might need a cut. If you are on any sort of journey where you are elevating yourself, you will lose friends. I said this in my comment, which was also long-winded, but it basically went like this. When you are in a video game, do you have the same bosses, enemies, weapons? No, right? When you level up on a video game, when you go from level 1 to level 2, it is a completely different environment if it's a good game. Now, it might be a similar environment, but it's completely different. Especially if you make that gap from level 1 to level 10, then sometimes it's a completely different game, right? So it's a complete fallacy to think that when you're on level 1, you're going to see the same bosses, NPCs, weapons that you'll see on level 10. Make this a little bit lower. So does it kind of suck, though? Let's be honest, it sucks, right? We want to have the same friends that we have when we're on level 1. We want to kick it with the same homies. But trust and believe, when I stopped smoking weed, stopped doing other things, I lost friends. And it's funny that when I was depressed, when I was at my worst, that's actually when I had the most friends. That's when everybody loved me. When I was sad, unconfident, and I had no belief in myself, that's when I had the most people surrounding me. You may feel the same way. When you're on your journey to get that degree, build more muscle, even sometimes become even more social, you may have less friends. That's because you have to understand something about life, and that is that people actually don't change, right? We have this saying that people change, but from my recognition, people don't change. It takes pain for somebody to change. It takes a shit ton of effort. If you work out, you know what I'm talking about. It takes so much effort for to build muscle, to get that extra mileage. I recognized this when I was running to the YMCA. The YMCA was a mile away from my home, and I ran to the YMCA, worked out, and came back. I recognized that, you know what? Most people just, they're not going to do that. They're not going to walk in the cold to work out. They're not going to run in the cold. Which is great because a lot of these guys are your competition. We're all fighting for the same resources. So it's kind of good that you can kind of X them out just by doing some basic fundamental things. But it also kind of sucks that on your way up, you're not going to see many people there. A lot of people aren't going to relate to reading even. Most people don't even read, right? A lot of people aren't going to relate to reading a book and really being passionate about that subject. A lot of people aren't going to relate to wanting to run 5-6 miles. People usually don't improve that much after high school. They stop learning most of the time after high school, especially after college. But this is why people stay the same year after year, over and over. But there's a solution to this, right? Join a community. I have my own community on school, Strength and Stride Society, where we talk about fitness, working out, self-improvement, a big emphasis on just running and strength training and what it takes to become the ultimate hybrid athlete. The thing is, if you're on the journey by yourself and you have a good mental, you will improve, but you won't improve as much if you have people on the journey there with you. So that's what we talk about in my community, Strength and Stride Society. But there's other communities you can join. Adonis Gang, there's other Discord communities that you can join. When you're on that lonely chapter, it sucks. And you will find friends eventually who are on the same thing as you. As I began my self-improvement journey, I was completely alone. And now I'm finding guys slowly that want to train hard, run fast, learn more. That's a great tagline. But so at first it kind of sucks, but slowly you learn more and you meet more guys and it starts to become good. But when you're on that lonely chapter, it's better to just join a community so at least you can get that slight bit of motivation there. At least you can get a little clap. Hey, I hit 225 on the bench. Most people don't even know what the hell you're talking about. But if you join a community of guys who are on the same journey, wow, you hit 225, wow, man, that's great. Like when I talk to my friends about YouTube and when I talk to one of my good homies about YouTube and things like that, he's like, wow, man, that's great. When I talk to my old friend group or people who don't really know that much, they're just like, oh, okay, they're not in the world, so they don't understand the world. Therefore, they can't give me advice or even motivation about how to pursue that world endlessly and to how to get better. So, I think school's a great platform. I recommend you guys join school. and get that little help or advice on your lonely chapter. Because solitude, man, is a gift. It really is. It's a gift, and we don't give solitude its gratitude that it needs simply because we think, kind of sucks. I'm kind of on my own. And as human beings, we want to be with each other. We want to be together. But sometimes if you want to grow, you have to go at it alone. But when you join a community on school, you come to realize that, hey, I'm not the only one out here, which is a good thing, right? It kind of gives you that extra like push, like, oh, you're running outside and you don't see nobody. You go to the gym early, you don't see nobody. You're studying, working on your stuff, you don't see nobody. The next thing you know, you go in a little school community and you're like, oh, this guy's doing it. This guy's doing it. This guy's doing it. And then you get that sense of rivalry, that extra competition to give you that edge to go further. So I recommend joining mine. Of course, join mine, right? I recommend joining mine, Strength and Stride Society on school. It's completely free for the first 20 members, and we're at like 2 members right now. So if you watch this video, you're probably going to be grandfathered in and get it free for a lifetime. There's going to be so much content, so much courses on how to do calisthenics, how to run a marathon, just giving more advice about strength training and running and becoming an ultimate hybrid athlete, a goal that I'm just obsessed with right now. That's it for today, guys. Externalize greatness.